I've actually wanted to do this review that I'm about to do. Is it a review? Postmortem, really. Postmortem, because it's about old gear that can still be used today. You know, like we have like Canon versus Nikon thing that keeps going round and round, and the Sony versus Fuji thing that keeps going round and seems to be, you know, keeping the market excited and afloat. Well, back in the day, guess what? There was a little battle, or more than one little battle, but the main battle that I remember when I came into video back in the day was the Sony Z1 in the blue corner. Now this was an amazing camera, this is an amazing video camera, HDV, that literally everybody and their brother and their sister, if they were into video, had one of these when I came in. This is what I used to see. Man's coming into the event, fling their Sony onto their shoulder. Nice little camera. Flip out screen on the top. Beautiful flip out screen. Huge flip out screen. And yeah, I wanted one. I did want one. This one is not mine, by the way. I borrowed it from someone. I was doing some work and it was here, so I took the opportunity. But it's a great little video camera. You can see, compact. It's quite light. It's got this nice carry handle on the top. Tape goes in here. You know, you just flip this. That opens up. Tape mechanism. And you know what I think about tape. Good old tape. Can't go wrong with tape. So you pop the tape in there, MiniDV. Yeah, drop that in. Shoots up to 1 hour. Close that. Around this side, if you look around this side, you've got some XLRs for audio input. Very, very important. Something that we kind of take for granted in this DSLR age that we're in. But everything was on this camera. You know, you got whoever designed this. If you look at this, let me show you. The XLR, two XLR inputs. One is slightly recessed in to the first one. And what that allows is you can have two angled XLR plugs, put them in, and they will both fit. Brilliant. You know, you've got a nice little handle around here with the Sony on it, just to let everybody know what camera you're using. Which brand, I should say. Stick your hand in, but it balances quite nicely. It's quite light. Though it looks heavy, it's quite light. But what I tend to do, I don't put my hand in like that. I stick my thumb in and actually grab the audio block right here. And that tends to balance right nicely. You can then fling it on the shoulder. This screen is at a perfect distance. You know, this, you can rotate the screen around. Let me turn it on. So flip it on at the back here. Yeah, into camera mode. Beautiful. Screen comes on. When it comes on, have I put it in the right mode? Put it into VCR. I always do this with these Sonys. You flip it up, it goes into VCR. Flip it down, it goes into camera mode. One of the things I don't really like about it, it takes so long to switch on. It comes on, and then Sony logo comes up, and God knows what else comes up, and what year, and who done what. And you just want to shoot, and this thing's in your face. It's not as long as the is it EX3? Oh my God, that one takes forever. But that's another story. You got little barn doors here. That is pretty cool. Look at that. You don't have like a lens cover. This is the lens cover. There's a little switch on it. Flips it open, and you're ready for action. And we filming. There you go. Nice little camera. Does the job. The screen is a dream to work with. That's one of the things I love about this Sony Z1. This screen, just a dream to work with. You know, also you have an EVF in the back here. If you don't want to use the screen, electronic viewfinder, you can actually, you don't really see people doing this, but you can look in the screen. You can put this away and look in the back here, and actually it's pretty sharp and very usable, and you get an extra stabilization point, 3-point stabilization, one on your eye, one on your hand, and the other one on your other hand. There you go, 3 points, 1, 2, 3, very steady. This is the best way to shoot video. Yeah, best way. DSLRs, they may look better quality wise, but this is the best way. Fling it on your shoulder, you can hold it here all day long and not feel stress. You can hold it quite steady as well. But this is a pretty cool camera. It's got your focus ring, where you would expect a focus ring around the barrel, easily to grab. You got the zoom ring, which has this nice, I don't know if you can see this little, can you see it? Got this little piece, this little handle thing that sticks out. Let's hold it around there like this, you can see it. There you go. And you can grab that lever and kind of whip it backwards and forwards. And a few years ago, when you know, when all that snapping was in vogue, them snap zooms, you know, and you snap it in and you snap it back. That's what people were using, grabbing hold of this little handle here, which was pretty cool. One of the things I don't really like about the Sony Z1 is you have a rocker switch here, and that's for zoom, and you can zoom with the ring, but you can't have both at the same time. You can't have both at the same time, so sometimes you're trying to zoom and it's set to rocker. There's a switch here that switches between the two. And if it's set to rocker, this does nothing. So you're pulling it and nothing's happening. You've got to find this switch under here and switch it, and then that will work. But guess what? Once this works, this one doesn't work. And that is always made no sense to me. But anyway, what else? The aperture control is down here, which has always been a bit odd to me as well. So you're changing your f-stops by turning this little thing, this little button here that just doesn't feel natural. Other than that, it's a brilliant camera. Lovely camera, lovely big screen. You can see there, you know, it's the right distance from here to here, so you can focus, you know, on whatever it is you're doing. It's lovely to use, easy to use out the box. The colors look brilliant. Zeiss lens. Try not to forget anything. Yeah, you got your gain switches down here, low, medium, and high. Everything is within easy reach. If you know, once you work out where they are, it's in easy reach. So it's a lovely camera to use. You got your ND filters here, white balance switches here, preset, auto. Everything is where you'd expect it to be. Another thing I didn't like about it is the fact that you have to go into the menus when you're using it to do certain things, which you don't really want to go into the menu when you're filming. You want everything in a button, which is why in the red corner we have the Canon rival, which is what I used. This is what I came in on. Canon XH A1. As you can see, it looks very similar, and I'm sure there were some spies going between the companies when they were designing these things, because they look way too similar. It's got a nice handle on the top, as you can see. Yeah, a built-in microphone, and it's the same on the Sony. This handle is not just a handle, it's actually a microphone. Although no one actually uses the microphone. You add in a second microphone, external one, and you can see I've got this Rode mic connected. But very similar. Again, you've got the audio block. Can you see that? Where's the audio block? Here. And I've got one angled XLR in here. But as you can see, because this audio block is flush, both of them are at the same angle, The only way to put in two angled XLRs is to have one going down. On the Sony one, because this recesses in, you could put two going the same way. One going down that way and one going down that way. Minor thing, but you can see they actually thought about it on the Sony, which was quite cool. Again, I put my thumb through because it balances better. You got your screen right here, flips out. I remember I gave this to a brother to use he's used to using a Z1, and I gave him to use this. And he could not find the screen for love nor money. He was like, where's the screen? I'm sure this had a screen. It's hidden so well on here. There's a little button here, and you flip it, and it comes out. So there you go. Screen comes out. This screen is just way too small though. Even I have problems using this screen. You get used to it, but it's nothing like the Z1. So that's 1-0 to the Z1 when it comes to screen. What else is different? The barrel of this has 3 rings, which is just absolutely brilliant. You got your focus front, can you see that? And then you got your zoom, and then you got your aperture right there. Within easy reach, fling it on your shoulder. You got 3 fingers there like you're playing a trumpet. Brilliant, excellent, perfect. Yeah, it's a little bit heavier actually than the Z1, just a little bit, tiny bit heavier. But again, very similar. All your buttons within easy reach down the bottom. You got your gain and your white balance and your camera bars. It's got a million of buttons on the side. It's got buttons down this recess here for all kinds of things. Magnification, peaking, display. You've got your audio at the back. You've got your custom keys, and you've got some other custom presets around here. Everything can be accessed from the side. There is no menu for you to go into. And that's where the Canon wins. So that's 1-1 between the Canon XH A1 and the Sony Z1. But they're very similar, as you can see. Look at them. Very similar. Look at this. Let me fold that in. You can use them for weights. So these two are going head to head in the early 90s. 90s? 2000, not early 90s. 2000s, these were going head to head. More people had the Z1 than had the XH A1. But that was one of the reasons why I liked the XH A1, because it was more unique than the Sony. The Sony look was like everywhere. Although you got custom presets and you can set this up to look different, most people just used it straight out of the box. So all their footage looked very similar. Didn't look bad, but it looked very similar. I wanted mine to look different. So that's why I went for the XH A1. This has got a neat standby button at the back, right where your thumb is. You flip that and it's in standby mode. You flip it again and it's good to go. Really, really quickly. I remember I was filming outside the Old Bailey. I was doing a job for somebody outside the Old Bailey, and I was using, I think it was an EX3. And when you're waiting for them to come out of court, you want to save the battery, so you got to put your camera on standby. EX3 takes forever to switch on from standby, and I nearly missed the shot. Switching on, come on, come on, come on, come on. They're walking from the court, going to the car. You know, it's a short distance, and all the media's there, and people take, come on. Z1 is similar, not as bad, but similar. But this, brilliant. You can switch this on within a fraction of a second and be recording, and that's what you want. So, the two rivals from the 2000s, from the noughties, here they are. You know, which one won? Who won the battle of the noughties? Was it the Sony Z1? Was it the Canon XH A1? I don't know. I don't know, to tell you the truth. I love them both. I love them both, and you can get them now. You can pick them up for about next to nothing. A couple £100, 300. I've seen them going for about 300 quid. 300. And they're still very usable. So I know people probably wouldn't think about getting something like this now after you've been used to shooting with a DSLR, which is tiny in comparison. But the battery life on these will outlast the DSLR. If you've got a big event that's going to take hours and hours, you're shooting all day, this is direction I would point you in. You know, they're not going to overheat. You can film for hours and hours. So long as you got the tapes, they will just run and run and run and run. Oldies but goodies. The XH A1 from Canon and the Sony Z1, which was, I would say, that's the camera of the noughties, really. But I wouldn't say it was a winner. They're all good. Brilliant cameras. Excellent.